Welcome, and I'm glad you're watching this video. I'm making this video just as a tryout and to think things over. So I didn't really make a concept of this, but after doing some of the challenges at Presenter Mastery, it got me thinking about certain events in my life. There were a lot of things that caused me trauma, and there were some things that could have caused trauma but didn't. Well, when I talk about trauma, I'm not talking about physical trauma, I'm talking about psychological trauma, like post traumatic stress disorder. The first time I remember, this could be the last thing I do, I was 17 years old. I was riding my bike together with my girlfriend. We made a turn left, and somehow I angered someone, and he came after us with his car into the biker tunnel. And I threw my bike in front of him so my girlfriend could ride away. And he got out of the car, took his gun and pointed it at me. My fight and flight was active then, so I was really scared. I did not know what to do. I thought, this idiot is going to pull the trigger. Well, he didn't, of course. I'm here. Another time, I was in my car coming from a customer heading down the highway. And not going into the specific about how it came, but I came in between, sideways, a big truck, that was me, and here was a van in a 2-lane road. That doesn't fit. I had seen in my mirror that there were at least 2 people in the van. And that was the first time I experienced that I had influence. I can influence some things. So I had a conversation with myself. And I thought, well, I need to do something, because either I'm going to push them off the road, and there are more people in that car than in mine. So I'm going to steer to the right. And I saw my right outside mirror go past the tire of the truck. And I thought, if necessary, I will put my car under the truck, because that truck will run over me, but those people will be safe. Well, that didn't happen either, so I survived that too. And there were 3 more incidents which I thought, well, this might be the last thing I do. But the difference with the parachute jump, which was the last time I thought this might be the last thing I do, the big difference is I was prepared for an accident like that. For parachute training, I went to America, and I was trained by special forces, by veterans of all eras. And then you come there and you're at the airport where the training is given, and there's a routine every day. In the morning, breakfast, and then you go learn your parachute landing fall. That's a certain way of landing with a military parachute. It's a kind of a roll. And you jump off, let's say, a table, and you jump on the hard ground there and you do the fall in all 6 ways you can do it. And after that, you got to learn how to pack a parachute. And after that, you got lunch, and then you got procedures. Procedures? Yeah, procedures. You learn procedures. Because if you jump out of a plane, there are lots of things that can happen. Well, your parachute can open, it can partially open, it can have a line over, but if it's all well and the parachute is open, there are still a lot of things that can happen. You can go towards another parachute and you got to know what to do. You can, with your feet, come onto another parachute, you got to know what to do. You can find yourself in a situation that you will probably land in water, so you got to know what to do. Or power lines, or tree. What do you do when you approach a tree? So all those procedures for a week long, every minute of the day, one of the instructors could yell, "Hit it!" And then you would bend over, jump, and put your hands where your reserve would be, and then you would count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. And then the instructor says, "Well, your canopy is open." And then you go and you check your canopy and you rehearse everything. And then he says, "All is well, but you're going towards power lines. What do you do?" And then you shout out and act out what you have to do if you are going towards power lines. But there's one exercise the instructor calls out when you're counting 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. And then the instructor calls out 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. You're dead. So that's what happens when your main parachute does not open because of a static line failure. The static line can break. I don't know how, because if you see a static line, it's so strong. But the cable you hook onto can break. You can even forget to hook on, or you can forget to secure the hook. Well, when you're in a big airplane like a Hercules or a Dakota, you stand up, you hook up yourself. So that's the thing you secure pretty well because it's your life. Your life depends on it. But if you jump from a smaller plane, like a Cessna Caravan, where you don't walk out, but you sit at the edge of the door and then hop out, the jump master hooks you. And in my case, that went wrong. Why? Because I was the first in our country with the new American Universal Static Line hook. And since World War II, there hadn't been any changes to those hooks, so he didn't secure it well. So I jumped out and counted 1 1,000, 2 1,000, and then I saw my hook passing me by. And because of the weak training on the ground, muscle memory set in. So I reached for my reserves, I pulled, I put my hand in, threw it away, did everything. And that all went down in 1 second, between 2 1,000 and 3 1,000. And I had this conversation in my head. Oh, my muscles are doing automatically what I do. I see green. Oh, if I throw away my reserve now, it might blow back in my face. So I stick out my feet. So I turn a little and I see the blue skies and then throw it away. And I knew it would go and hurt my back when my reserve would be out there, would be because you got a brake and it's fastened here, and you go to about 200 kilometers an hour, and you got this brake that brakes you to, well, way under 100 kilometers an hour. So that's going to hurt your back. I knew that. I was trained for that. So I prepared for that. And I thought this might be the last day thing I do. And because I knew all the things I could influence, because I could choose to throw out the reserve or not. That's what I could influence. I could follow procedure or not. And I chose to do so. And it left me no other choice as to, so you could say that, well, this is it. I might end up dead within 2 seconds if the reserve doesn't open, or 2 minutes if it opens and I land very badly. Worst case scenario for me would be to be invalid. The best case scenario was I would walk away from it. So within that second and that hours of thinking that went on in that 1 second, I choose to enjoy the ride because it were blue skies, the sun was shining. And when it opened and my back was hurt, I saw this beautiful round canopy. I thought, wow, this is non-steerable. I got no influence now where I'm going to land. You know, if you're under a round canopy and you're moving down and you look at the ground, there's one spot that doesn't move. And that's where you're going to hit. And I thought, I'm going to make the best of it. Well, as you perhaps already know, I got injured landing. I landed with approximately a speed of 80 kilometers an hour. I survived that. Yes, my body was hurt, but it didn't get a trauma from that. Because I knew what was going on, what I could do about it, and I did everything I could do about it. And being at that place in any given circumstance that you say, well, wow, what's happening now? Okay, I don't know what that is and how long that's going to last, or if it's something that's instantaneously like the parachute accident. But if you can find within that the circle of things that you can influence and you act on that, you can be at peace at heart. You can be at peace with yourself. And it won't mentally hurt you. So here's a bit of my story. I hope you learned something from it. And you take away from it that whatever is your comfort zone, every time you get outside your comfort zone, because you want to learn something, or because you were dragged into a certain situation, or, well, circumstances have changed, or you get in an accident or something acute, find the things you can influence and understand what is just what it is, what you cannot influence. And then you also can be at peace.